one of the reasons I chose pantyhose was because I felt that when a woman wears pantyhose, usually, even though people don't wear them much anymore, it's still true that when they're worn, it's usually under a tense situation, an interview or a gala or something social where there's a lot of energy that's going on in the body. In the African way of things, adding these things to an object enhanced its power and energy. So that's how I looked at the pantyhose, as a holder of power. And so when I started developing these, I thought, oh, I really want to interact with these. And then finally I had other people, particularly Maren Hassinger, who collaborated with me for many years, to start activating these pieces. And with that activation, again, it's enhancing the power of the piece as another energy, a human energy, is coming up against the sculpture. When it comes to young people, it's important that they know as much about their world as possible. When I was growing up, it was like, oh my gosh, there's a black person on TV, and we would run, we'd call everybody, oh, there's a black, oh, just because it was so exciting to see ourselves reflected, because it wasn't it wasn't in books, it wasn't on TV. So whatever person it is, whatever culture it is, they need to know, they need to see themselves. If you're a Japanese American, if you're Native American, whatever the situation, it's so empowering to see yourself reflected in the media. You have to have a sense of self and a sense of who you are, where you come from, your culture, and so on. But the downside of that is being trapped by it. You have to do that and then expand that, and not let that hold you to some form of action or way of doing that people expect. And that, there has to be a balance there, where it nurtures you and nourishes you, but it doesn't enslave you.